And I'll say this is Andrew Williams Jr. And Joan Kerr. And we're discussing this project in front of us right now. It's called, I think, the SAMS Dubai project with Mafado Worthy. Lloyd Helferty brought us to the table. I'm suggesting collaboration with Joan's organization to be fiscal administrators of the, I think it's multi-week project every Sunday for the rest of this month, rest of this year, for 1 hour recordation of a presentation by Mafado, and that's it so far. So, Joan, let's kind of take it from there. You were telling me a little bit more about the experiences and the expectations, and particularly with the use of technology. As I explained to you, as I understand it, Lloyd Helferty, with whom I've been involved for many years, he is the one that actually, the last 10 days, suggested to Mafado that he consider Richard Nelson's technology as opposed to the existing technology that I understood was going to be used for this project in Pakistan and Saskatchewan. That's my understanding. And when the two got together, it seems that Mafado decided that yes, that would be the case. So the intent for this next several week period is to have an hourly show every week that talks about Mafado's project, including this what's called the solar roof technology. So in a nutshell, that's essentially what I'm asking you to become involved with, Joan. Now, the documentation of the activities is separate from actually getting involved with the activities themselves. So that's a call you'll have to make, yes or no, but I'm not asking you to get that involved. I'm just asking you, from a relationship building standpoint, to bring your organization to the table with the Edfu Foundation and also the Nakori TV with Lady Alicia Hamilton. The three of us will be responsible for providing one. Edfu will provide the access to the Zoom. Lady Alicia Hamilton and I will provide the hosting as far as the talking about it and perhaps being hosts of each one of the shows. And that's essentially the nutshell. What we do after that, I hope, will actually involve recordation of the activities that we're describing as a demonstration of the construction and operation of a solar roof unit, both in Richard's home and also in the home of, I believe his name is Mr. Zhang. So the idea is to watch these things unfold and then to scale those up to apply locally and globally around the world. That's my understanding of what we're trying to do.
Okay, sounds easy enough. So you're saying from October to December is what we're,
yes,
the timeline, am I correct? Okay.
October 4th to December the 7th, a series of 1 hour events on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Pakistan time.
Okay. All right. And there will be specifically 1 hour.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm suggesting in that hour, 48 minutes be devoted to the actual content and 12 minutes be set aside for, I'm suggesting 30 seconds for each of the participating or stakeholders to introduce what they are, and the other half for the sponsors themselves to introduce themselves, like a station ID, that kind of thing.
Well, so it's just like it's not really a documentation we're doing. We're actually doing sort of like a radio call-in, a radio presentation, sort of like this is the project kind of thing.
Yes, although it won't be a call-in, it'll just be a meeting.
Right. Yeah, a reporting.
A reporting, yes, a reporting.
Yeah, okay. So I like things defined,
Yes.
And so are we asking them questions, written questions, or he's going to present, Mafado, that is, going to present the project and how it's going and the results? Is that the sort of thing that we're looking at?
I've suggested having a conversation about that tomorrow to nail down exactly what those 40.
Okay. Sounds good. I mean, it would be really great to see something being tested. I guess it sounds like it's further than tested. So Richard should be on the call as well to answer any technical questions. Am I correct?
Yes, I will. Again, the short answer is yes. Although, again, this is Model's project, and he does
Yeah.
have, this is just one a component because again, he's intending, as I understand it, to deploy these units in Saskatchewan to deliver refugee solutions for people around the world to be able to come and live and be able to construct a life, that provides them with education, food, the whole 9 yards. But that's beyond the scope of what I'm asking you to become involved with.
Right. So the intent for the show is to sort of like, okay, here's this pilot project that used these concepts, and here's the result. And then later, that could be used as a model for community development. Is that sort of the idea?
As I understand it, Mafadal is intending by the end of this year to be able to have someone living in one of these housing units and to scale up from there. So he's planning, I think,
Okay.
to give one away, at least one away, as I understand it.
In Pakistan.
Well, it may be in Saskatchewan. It may be on the site where he's intending for this to be. As I understand, they have property also in Texas, and there's one other location. So there are multiple locations. So ideally, the construction that's happening in Richard's backyard and Mr. Zhang's backyard can be replicated in these others. It shouldn't take 3 months to build these things.
Right. Right.
It should only take 30 days or less. So the idea is to do multiple ones, if at all possible. The idea is again to report on the development from zero blueprint to output. That's my
And so
understanding.
yeah, and Mafadal has, and Richard has, this is his invention and he has the right to use it.
Yes, all patents to it, yes.
Right. And all of the zoning and building permits have been done, do you know? I know in Canada, they're very,
Well, that's,
I guess that's the question tomorrow.
well,
Yeah.
again, now that's a question we could by email ask, but I'm assuming, I mean, they're going forward with this, so I would assume they have the permits to do it.
Yeah, I'll still ask it, so.
Of course, necessarily so.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty interesting project. Like you said, it's more focused for us to work together, more like showcasing something that could be, right? Something that really benefits people. And it's getting the feedback on a regular basis of something that's being implemented. So, and who would have the rights to use these videos?
Well, I guess that'll be a question to be done tomorrow, but the idea is to make the videos as widespread as possible. That's why I'm trying to include credits in the videos of the people that are participating or whoever we choose to allow to be promoted in the videos themselves.
Yeah. So our role then is to sort of look at like we don't have a history of making videos for other people. Like I said, we've done it once, but it was more almost individual than it was the organization, even though they were all members of FBSC, but it wasn't under FBSC. So I can't really claim that. We've done videos for FBSC, such as youth visiting the garden and working. We've done one for waste management at a community level, Earth Day, things like that. But they're more around community engagement rather than technical responses. On the technical side, we've done the International Humanitarian Technology conferences in Canada and the Global Humanitarian Technology Conference once. We're involved in the organizing of that. And one of the things that we did was being the judges for the students on their concepts.
Okay.
So I was involved with that 3 years in the ones that were hosted in Canada. And so when I can tell you most of the students were like, oh, she's going to ask a question. So anyway, but I'm not a techie. So what I tend to ask is the questions of how does the technology, how can it be scaled for the needs of the community, right? So it's one thing anybody can invent something. So just to give you a bit of thing, but on a personal side, there was I was involved with a movie making. It was a documentary. Jesus, going back about 20 years ago now. Oh my God! And it was it won the third prize in the New York Film Festival.
Mm.
And I myself was the focus of a documentary called Fabulous Joan, which was an interesting document as well for community TV, though. Not
Okay.
we didn't do that; it was a community TV. So they hounded me for years to do this, and it was so popular that they had to run it 2 years in a row. It was only supposed to be for one season. So,
Now,
but
do you
I don't
have
know
the
if I would
rights?
do it again.
Well, do you have the rights to that, or do you know if it's rebroadcastable?
Well, that community TV is gone now. It was actually one of the biggest. It was called Rogers TV, which is in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And I think someone made a copy for me. I never saw it on TV because I never watched TV. So when people
Well,
say, I saw you on TV last night, I was like, okay.
I threw my television away in 2005. So
Yeah, like it was like people say, why didn't you watch yourself on TV? I said, well, I know my life. I didn't have to watch it.
well, Joan, you brought up a very important thing. Now, on the call was Michael Windler. He recused
Uh-huh.
himself from being on the administrative team. It is his technology that we're intending to create virtualizations of the project as well as visualization. So it's not just a camera taking a look at things, but it's actually replicating, if you would, at a granular level, the entire process. That's really part of my intended outcome is to provide the demonstration of how this virtualization can assist us in replicating this same model in other places.
Mhm. Oh, good. That's great. I wanted to ask you, so your name is Prince Andrew Williams.
Well, here's the thing. Back in August the 1st of this year, I was inducted as a prince
Okay.
into it's called the Igbo Easy Palace in Ghana. And this is for the Igbo people that are living in Ghana under one kingdom. It's a lifetime thing. It's not, hereditary. It's and so I was inducted on August 1st, and then on August the 25th, I was inducted as a Prince Nanan Yao Williams into the Akan Kingdom. So technically, I'm a double prince, but I'm still a neophyte. I'm a neophyte to royalty.
Well, it's always good to learn. And Lady Alicia
Alicia,
Hamilton.
she's married to a pastor. That's where the lady comes from. And
Okay.
so her Revelation Network, TRN.TV, was her initial flagship project. She started it back in 2003. As I might have mentioned, she was walking behind her son on Saturday morning and was abhorred by the graphic violence and sex on the cartoons and so much more on the commercials. So essentially, she created her own network. She actually did the coding to create a network, the Revelation Network, focused at that time on faith-based communities only. And so it would be unlike YouTube, it would be a private network, and people have to opt in, and you'd never have to be surprised about watching a prayer vigil, and then you go into the middle of a shooting in the middle of the street. So that concept worked quite well. She was able to build a worldwide subscriber base for that of a couple of 100,000 by 2016, but she was not able to get corporate sponsors. They kind of shied away from the religious handle, so she cloned it to the Universal Citizens Media Network about 2016. That's focused again on educational and uplifting content. Again, no graphic violence, sex, those kind of things. And in last November, unfortunately, she was diagnosed. She first was diagnosed with a broken back, but then they would discover she had stage 4 cancer. So she's been in the hospital for the last 9 months. She just got out of the hospital. But while she was there, she wrote another network called Nakori TV. That's to integrate with Amazon Fire and also with the Roku So in addition to having now 400,000 subscribers online, to be able to push out to several million people through terrestrial and satellite networks. So this show coming up will be one of the flagship shows that we do to launch the network.
Oh, great. Well, we'll see how it goes. And so would it be edited or will it be sort of the live, the recorded?
I'm recommending, that's why the pre-production, the idea is that for Mufadal to actually come up with a weekly script, I would like.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the idea is to actually even further edit it after that to again insert the information that we want and then present
pictures,
a full package.
and yeah,
Yeah.
and even the development of the project. You know, here's the groundbreaking. Here's some plants and you know, sort of thing. So I like, you know, because it's a project, you should have a beginning and an end.
Exactly.
So,
That's intended. Yes,
so,
exactly.
yeah.
But you have to keep in mind, one of the first, I don't know if you're on we had two of those Zoom conferences. I provided the second one. On the first one, we actually had one of the attendees was Silky D. Williams, and she and I are both on, well, she's actually one of the original female MCs on the West Coast, Silky D. Williams. And she's also part of the Universal Hip Hop Museum. And through her, I was actually brought in to be on the National Advisory Board of the Universal Hip Hop Museum. We also have a gentleman named Sir Bailey. He's the son of Philip Bailey of Earth, Wind, and Fire. He's an educator here. But the idea is to get our youth involved with this as well. So Sir Bailey has also identified locations here where ideally we would actually have one of these units. So I see this 1 hour event as part of a day-long programming that's surrounding the different stakeholders that we're involved with. I'm looking at this from a standpoint of like a CNN when they were just beginning. Like, what are we going to do with this day? So the idea I would like is us to introduce hip hop, music, entertainment, you know, all those things that bring people in, and then allow them to see what else we have here. So that's part of the idea as well.
Okay. Well, I think you've answered my sort of initial questions, and it sounds like a really good project, provided that obviously Mufadal does his part. And I'm curious to see what the results are for the solar roof, that's for sure. We need to do things. We just, you know, I'm not interested in talking. I'm interested in doing. So that's where I'm at.
That's where we both are.
Yeah, that's great. So,
well, as I said, I'll get the paperwork out to you 4 days out, but I'll send this Zoom along to people that weren't here so they'll hear what we talked about.
Right.
Hopefully just, you know, make it as succinct as possible.
Yeah. All right. Sounds great.
All right, Joan. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.